take it away. Introduce yourself. David's a fellow coach in the Tom Ferry ecosystem. He's been in real estate. He's been in this industry a long time. Why don't you fill us all in, David?
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. So my background is mortgage. Well, first of all, hello everybody. Hello everybody. So Coach David Manzer here. So I've been around Tom since 1998. I was coached by Tom. Actually coached his son Steven for a little while. So fun fact. But my background is mortgage. So sales, marketing, operations, a part of mortgage as it is real estate. Everything translates. I read it immediately. And so it's been a fun ride to watch, join the ecosystem. I've been coaching now for 7 years with Tom, going on my 8th year. And I coach broker owners. I coach brand new agents, millionaire agents. I only have 6 mortgage people in my schedule, which is kind of interesting. So, but yeah, that's kind of who I am. So today I'm going to talk about lead conversion, and hopefully it'll be some things that you already know, things that you need to be reminded of, things that you haven't heard before. So with that, is it okay, Mike, Maria, I just kick it off? All right, I'll share a screen.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's see. Okay, I'll move you guys over here. Perfect. And then if there's any chat or anything that comes up, but can you guys see it? Does it say lead conversion?
Yep, you're good.
Perfect. Okay, let's get through it. Start off. Oh, I have to click this first. Sorry. Okay, there we go. All right, as Tom Ferry would say, the fortunes and the follow-ups. We're going to talk about that today. Timid salesmen have skinny kids. Zig Ziglar, love Zig Ziglar. Don't focus on having a great blog. Focus on producing a blog that is great for your readers. It's just a good reminder. Sometimes in our process, we think about us and we share about us when it's really about our audience. So it's a good reminder. Brian Tracy, approach each customer with the idea of helping him or her solve or achieve their goal, not selling a product. So again, a reminder that we are consultants, we are advisors. We are helping them discover what's best for them, not trying to convince them what we think is best for them. Right? Key to mastering any kind of sales is switching statements about you, how great you are, but what you do about statements about them. So Jill Corneth, she's a good author on sales books. All right, so my intentions for today: CEO mindset, reminder that you are the CEOs of your organization. Your organization, as you know, has a marketing department, a sales department, and an operations department. So focus on getting your message, your brand out as a CEO, understanding what leads are. We'll talk about lead game plans, lead follow-up resources, and lead conversion. So the premise of today's conversation is about converting leads, right? Those opportunities. So, all right. So some stats real quick. Leads are 21 times more likely to convert if contacted within 5 minutes compared to 30 minutes after the inquiry. Follow-up attempts. This is probably the number one. We are in a instant gratification society where we like now business, and we tend to just drop them if they're not ready to go. But you can see 80% of sales require 5 follow-ups or more. And so it's just a reminder that we have to keep up after our follow-ups. Open rates, email, that's part of your conversion process. Let's see, conversion rates. I'm going to skip this. Oh, this is actually good to know because 1 to 3%. So sometimes we focus on what we don't get versus what we do have. So always focus on the opportunity, knowing going forward that your skills improve, your conversion rate increases. So what is a lead? So I'm going to get you guys out of the way here. Give me 2 seconds. Perfect. Okay. So what is a lead? Like, give me some like shout outs. Like, what is a lead?
Somebody raising their hand that they are interested now or later.
Right. So interested now or later. Any other thoughts?
Anyone looking for properties?
Okay.
Or anything to do with anything about properties?
Okay. The reason I bring this up is a lot of companies want to sell you a lead. And their thought is a lead is someone that's ready to transact, they're ready to move. Okay. And so my definition of a lead is just what you just said. It's an opportunity to talk with someone regarding your service. It's simply an opportunity to talk to someone about your service. So
Hello.
part of your lead conversion.
Zoom meeting.
Oh boy, I wish I had my Stream Deck set up so I could mute everybody. Maybe I don't know.
I can.
Okay.
I'm at the office. I haven't been able to make it home.
Oh.
So, anyways, so a lead being an opportunity to
Bye.
talk to someone about your service.
No,
It's
I've been
important to
here.
understand because it's going to help you
Just
set
left to go
realistic
get a light and
expectations.
that shit. But other than that, came all right.
Is that Steph? There you go. Thanks, Mike.
I got it. Yep.
Okay. All right. So lead source. Let's find the right place to put you guys here. Sorry. Okay. So this is just a little bit of a outline for, make sure I didn't miss something here. Yep, there we go. Okay. So the business is going to come from your lead sources. Lead source, this is just kind of a business plan side note. So lead source, database, goal for the lead source, number of transactions. Don't forget the number of leads, right? We have to have these opportunities before we can get the transactions. So I like to have everybody focus on generating the leads so we can get to the transactions. Then what you do is you list out your specific activities for the lead source, daily, weekly, monthly, etc. Schedule these activities in your calendar and then inspect what you expect. So this is a really good formula for database, geographic farm, expireds, whatever the source. Goal, number of leads required, the activities in your calendar, and then the inspection process. This will help you with your lead conversion because you know what your activities are. So I want to point that out. And then I know you guys have all seen this. You guys, everybody familiar with Jason Pantana, 100%, right? So Jason Pantana, so top of funnel this is where the awareness comes into play. The middle of the funnel is the consideration. So they're more searching, looking for opportunities. And then the bottom of the funnel is they've made the decision. They're going to the open houses. They're writing offers like they're ready to rock and roll. The lead funnel is critical to your lead conversion, so you have realistic expectations of these leads. A lot of times we say realtor.com sucks or any lead source, it sucks, but really it sucks because we had unrealistic expectations of where they were in the process. So I like to point out the funnel. Again, having realistic expectations will help you. Think singles versus home runs. When you are doing your lead generation, when you're working with lead conversion, think singles. Not everything's going to be a home run. We're like, I signed up for this, I'm doing this, it's a home run. No, singles, get the bases loaded, and then every single after that is a run. Okay? So I like to say, think singles, not home runs. Not every idea is going to be a home run. Think singles. All right. If a company wants to sell you leads, again, it has to do with the conversion in the sense of the quality of the leads you're going to get, the opportunities to talk to someone that you're going to get. Here's how I want you to measure that and hold them accountable. I want to know what's the cost, how many conversations are you able to have, how many appointments are you able to set, and then the transactions, right, and the revenue. So this is where you want to make sure that if you're paying for leads, that you're tracking what's happening. If you're paying the dollars and you're not having conversations, that lets you know that the quality of the lead is weak. Okay. If you're having conversations, but you're not setting appointments, then that's where Mike and Maria come in to help you with your appointment setting scripts, right? And if you same thing with appointments to transactions, if you're not getting the transactions, then Mike and Maria are going to work with you on converting your appointments into transactions. So this is a really good formula just to make sure these lead companies that promise you the world, hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. All right. So Zillow example. This is interesting. Zillow, what do? They take listings, they send a bunch of emails, they push people to their website, and they retarget. If you went to ChatGPT and you said, hey, I want to do a lead generation system and I want to follow Zillow's example, give me the step-by-step instructions on how to do that, it writes it all out for you. So I thought that was interesting. So it's like, who knows what you do, right? So when you think about lead conversion, who knows what you need to do? I mean, the people you're going to convert are the people that know what you do. Who knows where you are and how to find you? So kind of going back to the Zillow, Zillow's everywhere. Are you everywhere? You put yourself out there, right? Are you reaching the people that know you and or the people that don't know you? Because that's going to help with your lead conversion as well. Like if I'm gonna have a different conversation, people that know me, I'm gonna have a more business conversation. The people that don't know me, I have more of a sales conversation, right? So all of this ties into your approach, right? So I like to ask, what is your image? So this would be fun. So Mike, I don't know if you want to call them out, but it'd be fun to see what people are saying. What's their image? What's their reputation?
Who's first?
I see Angel. I don't know if Angel, image, reputation.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
So what's my image? Is that
Yeah. What's the image? What's the reputation you're trying to build out in your community right now?
a sorry, I can't stage fright.
No, that's
Um,
okay.
Just a honest realtor.
Right.
Someone who helps the community.
Right. So this is and I'm sorry to put you on the spot. Right. And this I have this question all the time with my clients, with new clients, but it is something we don't think about. Right. Remember, you're the CEO of your organization. Right. You have an image, you have a brand, you have a reputation you're trying to build. Tom shared that example a few years ago about the aisles of potato chips, like 2 rows of potato chips. They're all potato chips, but some are, thought of differently than others, right? And so you're kind of the same thing. You just want to make sure when you're marketing, when you're converting leads, your image, your brand is going to help you convert leads. So be clear. What's your image? So now who's your audience? So the next one I see, I don't know, Mike, you want to call somebody out, or if I just see Angel and Steph, so I don't know if I want to.
Oh, yeah, that's the only one you can see. Oh, let's see
Okay,
here.
Steph, who's your audience? Although she might be mad.
Rose,
She was
Rose,
talking earlier.
you've got an audience. Who's your audience,
Yeah,
Rose?
we have an audience. Sure. Our audience is an older client, probably at least 40, all the way up onward, to 60, 70, 80-year-old people. They tell us through their reviews and the feedback that we get that we're trustworthy and professional. And those people that we work with grow. They actually have their own networks, and they do a lot of viral organic marketing for us.
I
So
love that. I love that. That's I like pay you $5 for that answer. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. So, but listen, if you know who your audience is, it's going to help you with your lead conversion. You're, like Tom would say, you're not for everybody. So know who your audience is. If it's more senior, if it's first time buyer, if it's the investor, if it's a farm, if it's a community, whatever it is, but just know your audience, because that's going to give you more intentional, more purposeful language in your content and your message out to the world. So know your audience. So thank you, Rose. That was brilliant. Who are you attracting right now? Right? Sometimes we get overwhelmed by the clients that we work with. It's like, well, who are you attracting? And are you attracting the perfect match? So be aware of that, because obviously that's going to help you with your lead conversion. And then just a side note, a lot of clients, hey, I want more listings. If you want more listings, Who do you have to speak to? Right? Homeowners, speaking to homeowners. And by speaking to homeowners, you're naturally going to attract buyers because they know you're in real estate, right? So be intentional. So if you're previewing property, I'm previewing property for my sellers. You know, I'm helping my homeowners get their properties ready to sell in the spring. Just message, intentional. But I want to point that out. If you want more listings, make sure you're talking to homeowners. Okay. So lead conversion, I mentioned this earlier, but just convince them or help them discover. I hear a lot of people say, well, I'm trying to convince them. You know, I'm trying to show them. I'm telling them what I would do. Ask questions, right? Ask questions. I think that's the next slide. Questions will help them discover. Our purpose, our mission is to help the individual discover what's best for them and for their families, right? It's not about our paycheck. Okay, so the power of questions. So obviously Tom AI, I hope everybody is on Tom AI Plus. Hard to say, Tom, we should change that. But it's amazing. I think it's learning so fast. And it's, you know, we're on a beta right now to do some stuff with the business plan. And so I'm involved in it. You're able to ask it questions and get clarification, ask for more choices, more options. So make sure you mess around with Tom AI. And so the power of questions, you go to Tom AI Plus and go, hey, I'm meeting a client that is considering selling their home. Give me 5 questions I should ask to make sure they understand that I'm in their corner, right? Or I'm getting these online leads and I'm having a hard time connecting. Give me 3 questions that'll create the connection, the curiosity, the tease, so they want to stay connected to me, right? So that's the way you can use AI to your benefit to ask questions as you go into your appointments, as you go into your calls. Phil M. Jones. So you can instruct like ChatGPT or Gemini, hey, I want you to ask 5 questions of these sellers, but I want you to be Phil M. Jones. I want you to be Chris Voss. It will give you how they would word the questions. So if you have a favorite seller, you know, Zig Ziglar, Tom Hopkins, Brian Tracy, whoever, Tony Robbins, you know, Ryan Serhant, you know, Mike Langle, like you could have it. It'll ask the questions based on what they know about them. So I just find that really fascinating. Right. So these are some of the examples. What's prompting your interest in making the move right now? So these are Chris Voss, you know, Phil Jones questions. So what are your non-negotiables when it comes to location or amenities? So it's just the power of questions. That's how we help people discover what's best for them, which will help you in your lead conversion because it shows that you're listening and it shows that you care. So I ran some questions. So I'll share the slides so you'll have these. All right. So lead conversion is confidence in you and your process. Okay. My premise is once they speak to you, they should not need to speak to another agent. It's a house, a couple of agents, escrow, lender, attorneys, right? Why do they need to talk to someone else? That just means that either our process didn't work for them or we didn't exude enough confidence in ourselves and our process that they felt comfortable saying yes. Right, so have confidence. So how many of you have a process for your leads? Meaning, I get the lead, here's what I do. I'd be curious, if anybody have like a short outline of how they handle their leads?
I do, thanks to my coach.
Yeah, talk to me.
Well, he actually gave me a tagging process for everybody. So the moment that we talk to them, they go into our CRM, they're tagged for the source and they're tagged timeline wise. So depending on that timeline is depending on how often we create tasks in our CRM to touch base on them and how we're touching base on them. So thanks for
Brilliant. And then does it flip up? Mike gives you a thumbs up. So does it just flip up and tell you that day, okay, I need to reach out to him kind of a thing?
Yep,
Okay.
sure does.
I love that. So I would just challenge everybody. Thank you, Danny. It's like I would challenge everybody to have your process so that it helps with your lead conversion. If every kind of interesting, if every lead you get is a whole new experience, it's gonna make it really challenging for time management. for follow-up, for what do we do, get your process dialed. Like, this is the way we do it. So Danny, that was great share. Thank you so much. Okay, so own your process, right? Connect, learn about the lead, give them an assignment. I don't know if I give some examples, but next steps, schedule the connect, right? So like Danny, have it in your calendar. This is the next connect. So what is your process? Okay, so the process resources, obviously, Tom Ferry on demand, Loom resource library. If you guys go Loom Learning and just search Ultimate, you'll see all the Ultimate playbooks in there. One of them is systems. And so that's great. Tom AI, which I should add the plus, Tom AI plus. Hey, I need a, 30-day lead follow-up process. So give me the day-by-day follow-up steps to make sure that these leads, that kind of stuff. So ChatGPT, Facebook group files, just a reminder, you all know this, but just a reminder, if you go into your Facebook, the core and the elite Facebook groups or team, and you go files, there's a lot of sharing that goes on there that saves you a ton of time. There's scripts, presentations, tracking, systems. So don't forget about TF Core, TF Elite. Click on files and just look at all the documents. You can search by keyword. So I like to point that out because that's an amazing resource. I think gets overlooked. So what homework do you assign your leads? So Danny, I'm going to pick on you since so when you talk to your lead, what homework do you give them?
Depends on the conversation. If it's a seller, I actually give them homework to go through my listing presentation that I email over to them. And if it's a buyer, then I actually have them start to begin gathering their documents for our meeting. So it just kind of depends on the conversation. Okay.
Yep. Well said. Well said. So this is a how many of you make these calls, which I can't see all of you, so maybe Mike, but how many of you do the phone call where it's like, hey, I'm following up, I'm checking in? Anybody do that? Right? I'm following up, I'm checking in. And so what I like to help you do is just avoid those conversations by giving the homework, giving the assignment, and then scheduling the next call, right? So if you are calling saying, I'm following up, I'm checking in, that means you're chasing, right? And you've lost priority with that lead because now they think you're down here. So we want you guys even or even superior. And the way you do that, so Danny, well done. It's like, give them an assignment. So, hey, I want you to look at my listing presentation or my listing documentation or whatever, my listing demonstration, right? We don't do presentations, we do listing demonstrations. But I want you to look at it. How long will it take? Give you a couple of days. Great. I'll call you on Tuesday at 10 o'clock and then we'll go through the next steps, right? Or if it's a buyer and hey, I need you to get with the lender. You'll do that. I'll talk to you on Tuesday or whatever. Just, I want you to favorite 5 properties, make sure we're on the same page, and I'll talk to you on Wednesday at 10 o'clock. So always giving that assignment, scheduling that next conversation. So you're recapping the assignment and then you're going to the next step. That's why your process matters, right? If you don't have the next steps, then you're like, shit, now what do we do? Let's go look at some homes, right? So when you get a buyer, when you get a seller lead, make sure your process is dialed so you can always lead them to the next step and they don't need to talk to anybody else because they're doing your homework, right? Hopefully they were good students in school. They're doing their homework. So assignments, and this is just, do your leads expect your call? Like, do they expect your call? Do they know you're calling on Tuesday at 10 o'clock? Or are you saying, hey, I'll check in with you next week, right? Hey, I'll call you in the springtime. So even if they're wanting to list their house in the spring, which is again, lead conversion, set them up now. Hey, a lot of my clients are, man, we're going to be selling a lot of homes in the springtime. And so what I like to do is get together with them in advance so that there's no stress when we are ready to go live in the spring. So I'm going to come over and we're going to da. Okay, now what I want you to do is this, da. Now you've got these steps and you're ready to go into spring instead of calling the spring like, oh shit, they already listed or they already moved, right? So just a reminder, have your leads, your opportunities, expecting your call. It changes everything for you. It makes everything so much easier. But you got to know
For
your
those of you
process.
on
Yeah.
my schedule, that's what I call future pace your calls. If you've heard me say that, that's what he's talking about.
Yep, 100%, 100%. So, right, what homework can you assign your leads? So, open house, it could be, hey, drive the neighborhood, hey, get signed up, hey, read this buyer broker agreement, whatever it is. So, database says, so each of your lead sources, like Danny said, will have different homework assignments, and they don't have to be anything significant. It could be as simple as you just telling them to, hey, I want you to favorite 5 properties. I want you to call this lender. I want you to tell me 5 things you love about your house, 5 things you might change about your house. I want you to take pictures, whatever. Just simple stuff. Just the indication is just that you're giving them an assignment, you're going to follow up on it, and they're expecting your call. So no more following up, no more checking in. Okay, so open house, right? Sign in, tour the house, see me on the way out. Assignments, next steps. If I speak to my spouse, not sure why I put this in there, but you can role play with the leads, right? So I have to speak to my spouse. I have to think about it, of course. When you speak to them, what questions might they have? How will they respond? So you can role play that question, but also you can set that next step, right? You can set that you talk to your spouse so that I'll call you on tomorrow at 10 o'clock or whatever it is, right? So just a reminder there. Okay, showing properties, again, lead conversion. So don't ask them to judge the house, have them experience the house. If you ask them to judge it, hey, what do you think? They're going to tell you, they're going to judge it. So have them experience the house. Hey, where would you put the TV? Hey, where would your family have dinner? Hey, would your furniture fit in here? Hey, what are you going to do with the backyard? Get them to experience the house. This will help you with your lead conversion. So you're not just showing them a bunch of properties. Don't ask them to judge it because they will automatically, right? And then I like this question at the end too. So, hey, this may not be the right house for you, but just for fun, what would you offer on this house? Right? So we're breaking down that stigma of making an offer is a big deal. Right? Hey, just for fun. Right? This isn't the right house, but just for fun, what would you offer on this house? So starting to get that language down was going to help you with your conversion on showing properties. So a database, right? Equity impact reviews. So this market has been significantly interesting, chaotic, unbelievable. It's having impact on your equity. So I've created an equity impact review. So it's time, right? So assumptive and assertive, it's time for your equity review. I'm scheduling it. Let's go, right? It's already, no, I'm not moving. I'm not thinking about it. Hey, it's already completed. Just how do you want it delivered? So this is just a reminder, equity impact review is CMA, right? So it's just my fancy way of saying CMA. So just be assumptive and assertive with those meetings. I know you're all doing the 100K 100 day. So assumptive and assertive. This is what I do as your real estate professional. It's my obligation to keep you educated, informed, what's happening. Part of it is, hey, you go to the dentist every 6 months, you go to the doctor once a year, you're going to have an equity review with me every 6 months or whatever it is, right? So just assumptive, assertive, it's time. It'll help you with conversion again. But again, it's already completed. Just only question is, how do you want it delivered? All right, and then role playing is big as far as lead conversion. And again, ChatGPT, if you're doing the paid version, and I think the free version, I don't know if the free version has the audio, but you can role play. Now you can role play now with Tom AI Plus has the capability to role play. But role play you as the seller, the buyer, the lead. Let ChatGPT or Tom or Gemini be the realtor, be the real estate professional. Their goal is to set the appointment, to have the next conversation, whatever you would set the goal as. But again, you can see how Phil M. Jones would navigate. You can see how Chris Voss would navigate. Tom Toole. You guys have all maybe heard of Tom Toole. But just don't underestimate the value of this role play capacity, especially with Tom AI now. So just I like to point that out because this will help you with your lead conversion if you practice and just see maybe a more no offense, but just a more professional sales person, right? And see what they would say. Just wordsmithing. Okay. So lead conversion plan. This is just you're making your phone calls. And so this is a good little formula just to remind you, who am I calling? Why am I calling? What's my script? What's the goal? So database seems to be the biggest, like, I don't know, I don't want to call my database. Who are you calling? People that you know, people that trust you, love you, like you, want you to succeed. Why are you calling? Maybe it is to reconnect. I do have clients that haven't talked to people in like 5-10 years. Simply just trying to reconnect. So what's the script? Ford script, right? Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. And what's the goal? The goal is simply to reconnect. But this could be, I'm calling expireds. I'm calling old leads. So I have Zillow leads or Realtor.com leads or any Boomtown leads, right? Any of these old leads. So what's the goal? The goal is to get the appointment, or the goal is to get them signed up on my new website, whatever. So this is a good little formula you can follow that will help give you confidence and purpose when you're making your calls, which will help in your lead conversion, right? So lead urgency, just understanding the funnel, and then get the resources, which we pointed out before. So this is kind of a lead follow-up framework just to keep you consistent. So I think Danny said it perfectly, but it is, you know, the frequency of the contact, the mode of the contact, the message, the next steps, the next scheduled connection. Make sure you're using some sort of software, right? And then scheduled each day. So the 4 lead follow-up comes into your lead conversion, right? So the 5-5-4, which I think Tom now has pushed it to 10-10-8, or maybe it's more, I don't know. So, but this is just a good little formula to lead follow-up framework that you can utilize. It applies. Okay. Don't assume the lead understands the next steps. Right. So you have the consultation, the finances, the favorites, the drive the homes, the offers. So make sure that you are helping them understand, here's what we do next. Okay. Now that we've done this, here's where we go from here. Sometimes we just think it's just, they want to see homes, we'll show them homes and they'll know what to do. Okay. So you are the real estate professional and they are relying on you. So don't assume that they know what to do next. So just a reminder, you already know that, just reminding you. And then property preview or property analysis. So sometimes we go out, we'll preview property, right? And we're just looking at it versus doing an actual property analysis. Hey, here's the house. Here's where it's located. These are the benefits of the house. Here's the math of the house. Really break it down, pros and cons of owning. So it just helps with your conversion because your analysis is more intentional, and it's helping take away all the guesswork, you know, from the lead. So walk them through the plan and then the timing, right? Hey, right now we're in the find a property phase. Could take 6 months, could take 6 years. Like, I'm here for you, but here's what it's going to look like, right? We're going to use this site. I'm going to be calling these neighborhoods. You're going to be driving these neighborhoods, whatever it is, but give them the process and give them the expected timeline. Okay. So everybody doing okay? Kind of rolling through this, but everybody's doing good. Okay. Thanks. Okay. All right. Lead. Yeah. Keep your lead follow-up plan consistent, right? Builds confidence. So as long as you're consistent with it and you do it over and over and over, it's going to be, it's going to help you build your confidence. Scripts, checklists, resources, timing, communication, expectations. When you work with me, this is how it works. So again, it's just like, when you work with me, this is how it works. Explain that to the individual. Here's what's going to happen. Here's when it's going to happen. Here's what we do next. So just a reminder. Okay, meet the lead where they are. We talked about that. This may not be for you, right? Phil Jones, I got your inquiry. Could I text you in 5 minutes? This is when it's like, almost like treat them like your friend, like the lead follow-up. Hey, I got your message. Hey, let me call you back in 10 minutes, or let me call you back in 5 minutes. But if you acknowledge, set the expectation, and then you follow through, it just makes a big difference. So do that. I'm working on a Zillow script, which I worked with a client, so I'll share that with you if Mike and Maria, if you guys can remind me. But the basic premise is, hey, Zillow asked me to reach out because they really care about people searching on their website. They want to make sure you're covered. So it kind of walks them through instead of it just being, some random person. It's like, hey, Zillow sent me. So it's kind of an interesting twist on the script. So I'll get that to you guys. Saw your house didn't sell as planned. Have you given up on your goal to sell your house in 2023? Which I guess I should update. But that was, Chris Voss, right? It's calling expireds. Tried you a few times, but we haven't had a chance to connect. I haven't heard from you. Where do we go from here? Right? That's another. If you go to ChatGPT and you just type in, hey, give me 25 text messages I can send to this lead, this opportunity that I haven't been able to talk to in the last 30 days, it'll give you all kinds. I want to create curiosity. I want to be a tease, and it'll give them to you, and then you can pick and choose. So, but these are a couple that, I've tried you a few times. We haven't had a chance to connect, or I haven't heard from you. What's going on? So it works on lead conversion. This is just a format that you might want to try. 3 phone calls, no voicemail. Call, right? And then, hey, this is Danny, give me a call, right? Just short, sweet, to the point. Nothing, hey, this is Danny, give me a call. Couple of voicemails, scheduling time with the voicemail. So this is probably a reminder for you guys because you got Mike and Maria, great coaches. But just scheduling the appointment on the voicemail, right? Hey, it's Rose. We didn't get a chance to connect, so I'm going to call you tomorrow at 10 a.m. If that's not a good time, let me know. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow at 10. Okay, and then you call tomorrow at 10. Hey, sorry that I missed you. I'll try again on Thursday at 3 o'clock. Let's see if that time works better. If not, let me know. Peace out. So one of them is they're going to say, hey, that doesn't work, or they're just going to meet you. So scheduling voicemails, and then go to the, hey, we haven't had a chance to connect. Where do we go? And then have you given up your home, your goal to sell your home or to buy a home, right? And then they just go into your CRM and drip. But this is a good little formula. You guys, I'm sure you have your own, but this is a simple, you can do it every single time, and just set up your rotation. So, and this was just, the premise on this was just creating curiosity and how do you stay connected. And so I'm not going to go through this, but this is just what that's it. So when you guys get the slides, you can go through this, but it's really just meant to stay connected and to create interest and create curiosity. So in summary, realistic expectations with your leads, connection, gain familiarity. Remember, we all start out as junk mail spam. That's how we all start out. And then after the 5th or 6th or 7th or 8th attempt, then we become familiar because they know you're not going away. And then once you become familiar, you become trusted. And once you become trusted, then they transact with you. So it's just patience, right? Patience is the game of lead conversion, knowing your system, being patient, and then following through. So have your plan, own your plan, sellers, buyers, investors, renters, database, whatever your plan is for that opportunity, for that lead. Make sure you have that in writing. Give the assignments. So the assignments will allow you to not have to call, say, hey, I'm just checking in. Hey, did you get a chance to? No, fuck, sorry. This is how we roll. So that's how it works. So make sure your lead is expecting your call. Okay, after you have that connection with them, make sure they're expecting your call. I'm telling you, game changer. Everything is much smoother, easier. You're not chasing anybody, right? It's chaos when you chase. So no more chasing. So that is it. If you have any questions, obviously that's my number. But thank you for your time today. That was kind of quick. That was good, right?
Okay, very good. So
I'm gonna hit stop
questions
share,
for
but if
David?
you guys have any questions or
You all good? All right. Okay, well, thank you, David. Very informative. And I wanted to let everybody know this is our this upcoming week is the last week of coaching in 2024. So if you have a call scheduled for this week, then I will see either myself or Maria will see you on those calls. For everyone that does not have a call scheduled for this week, I wish you the best, happy holidays, happy new year, and I'll see everyone either later on this week or in 2025. Last call. Any questions for David? Or I'll let you guys go and get back to work. All right,
Okay.
go do some lead follow up.
Like, go convert those leads and set
Go
those
convert-
assignments.
Exactly. Set your appointments for the end of the year, and let's start off strong in 2025. Thank you, David.
I love it. You're
See y'all
welcome.
later.
Thanks,
Take
guys.
care.
Bye-bye.
y'all.
David.